$2 billion, 24 Grammy Awards, a real estate portfolio spanning New York penthouses, Hamptons estates, and a record-breaking $195 million Malibu mansion. This isn't just wealth, this is Jay-Z's empire. From sleeping in the Marcy projects to owning a $28 million custom Rolls-Royce boat tail and a private art collection featuring Basquiat masterpieces worth tens of millions, he hasn't just changed the game, he's rewritten the rules of success entirely. But Jay-Z's rise to power wasn't a straight line to the top. Behind the calculated business moves and platinum albums lies a story of intense rivalries, broken partnerships, and controversial decisions that have both defined and threatened his legacy. A legendary feud with Nas that became hip-hop's most infamous battle of words. The shocking elevator footage showing Beyoncé's sister physically attacking him while the world watched and speculated. Former business partners like Damon Dash left behind as he climbed higher, leading to bitter lawsuits and public accusations of betrayal. And then there was his NFL partnership, a deal that left supporters questioning whether the man who once stood firmly with Colin Kaepernick had sacrificed his principles for a seat at the billionaire's table. How did a kid from Brooklyn's housing projects transform himself into hip-hop's first billionaire? What calculated moves allowed him to turn Rockefeller Records into a sprawling empire spanning music, sports, technology, and luxury brands? And as his wealth and influence continue to grow, has Jay-Z become exactly what he once criticized, or is he playing a long game that most still don't understand? Join us as we uncover the strategic genius, controversial decisions, and untold power moves behind Jay-Z's transformation from street hustler to one of the most influential businessmen in America, a man who didn't just beat the system, he became the system. Before Jay-Z became a billionaire mogul, a music icon, and one of the most powerful figures in entertainment, he was Sean Carter, a kid from Brooklyn trying to escape a reality shaped by poverty, crime, and survival. His journey wasn't paved with record deals or industry connections. It was built on risk, ambition, and a relentless belief that he was destined for more. But getting there wasn't easy. His early years were filled with hardships that shaped his music, business mindset, and hunger for success. Before the world knew his name, he was just another aspiring rapper trying to break into an industry that had no place for him, so he built his own. Born Sean Corey Carter on December 4, 1969, Jay-Z grew up in the Marcy Houses, a government housing project in Brooklyn, New York. His father abandoned the family when he was young, leaving his mother, Gloria Carter, to raise him and his 3 siblings alone. The Marcy projects weren't just a place to live, they were a test of survival. Drugs, violence, and crime were part of everyday life, and for many kids in the neighborhood, escaping was never an option. Jay-Z, like many around him, had to navigate a world where opportunities were rare and the streets often provided the only real path to financial stability. As a teenager, he became involved in hustling, a reality he would later rap about in his music. But while many in his position got trapped in the cycle of the streets, Jay-Z saw something different. He knew he had a gift, and that gift was music. Hip-hop was exploding in the 1980s, and Brooklyn was at the center of it. Legends like Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, and KRS-One were dominating the rap scene, and Jay-Z studied them carefully. By the time he was a teenager, he had already built a reputation in his neighborhood as a fierce battle rapper. He was known for his lyrical precision, storytelling, and ability to freestyle entire verses without writing them down, a skill that would later define his career. One of his first breaks came when he connected with Jaz-O, a rapper and producer who saw potential in him. Under Jaz-O's mentorship, Jay-Z made his first TV appearance in the late 1980s, performing on the song Hawaiian Sophie. But despite the exposure, the industry wasn't interested in signing him. Labels weren't looking for street rappers with raw storytelling. Instead of waiting for an opportunity, Jay-Z did what would later become his signature move: he created his own path. By the mid-1990s, Jay-Z had spent years trying to land a major record deal, only to be rejected repeatedly. The labels didn't believe he had commercial appeal, and radio stations weren't playing his music. So instead of trying to fit into an industry that wouldn't let him in, he built his own platform. In 1995, alongside Damon Dash and Kareem "Biggs" Burke, Jay-Z co-founded Rockefeller Records, an independent label that would allow him to release his music without industry gatekeepers controlling his career. This move wasn't just about independence, it was about ownership. While most rappers were signing contracts that gave labels control over their work, Jay-Z was setting himself up to own his masters, his publishing, and his career. In 1996, Rockefeller released Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. At the time, it wasn't an instant commercial success, but it was a lyrical masterpiece that would later be considered one of the greatest rap albums of all time. Songs like Dead Presidents 2, Brooklyn's Finest, and Can't Knock the Hustle showcased his storytelling ability, business mindset, and a new level of sophistication in rap. It was an album built on real-life experiences, his time in the streets, his ambition to escape, and his understanding of power. Though it didn't top the charts immediately, it established Jay-Z as a force in hip-hop and a businessman who was playing by his own rules. After the success of Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z made one of the smartest moves of his career. He didn't stay independent forever. Instead, he used the momentum to secure a distribution deal with Def Jam Records, giving Rockefeller major label resources while maintaining control over his music. This move set the stage for what would come next, a series of albums that turned him from a respected lyricist into the biggest rapper in the world. From In My Lifetime, Vault 1 to Hard Knock Life, each release elevated his career, expanding his audience beyond street rap and into mainstream success. But Jay-Z wasn't just thinking about music. He was already thinking about legacy, ownership, and building something that would last beyond hip-hop. Jay-Z's rise wasn't just about talent, it was about strategy, timing, and an understanding of how to turn obstacles into opportunities. Unlike many artists who focused only on the music, he was studying business models, contracts, and investments. He saw firsthand how artists got trapped in bad deals, lost control of their work, and ended up broke despite their success. Jay-Z refused to let that happen to him. Every decision he made from this point forward wasn't just about making hits. It was about building wealth, influence, and a lasting empire. And as his career grew, so did his assets. From real estate to luxury brands, high-stakes investments to billion-dollar deals, Jay-Z was no longer just a rapper, he was becoming a business mogul. Jay-Z's journey from the Marcy Projects to billionaire status is more than just a rags-to-riches story, it's a blueprint for financial dominance. Unlike many artists who make millions and spend recklessly, Jay-Z has built a legacy of ownership, smart investments, and long-term wealth. With a net worth exceeding $2 billion, Jay-Z's lifestyle is a reflection of power, exclusivity, and calculated luxury. From his sprawling real estate empire to his luxury cars, private art collection, and high-stakes business ventures, every asset he owns is a strategic move. But Jay-Z doesn't just accumulate wealth, he reinvents what it means to be rich in hip-hop. His assets tell the story of a businessman who never lets money sit still. When it comes to real estate, Jay-Z and Beyoncé have built one of the most impressive property portfolios in entertainment. Their collection of ultra-luxurious homes spans multiple states, private islands, and some of the most exclusive zip codes in the world. One of their most talked-about purchases was a record-breaking $195 million Malibu mansion in 2023, the most expensive home ever sold in California. Overlooking the Pacific Ocean, the sprawling estate is a masterpiece of modern architecture, complete with floor-to-ceiling glass windows, private terraces, and high-end finishes fit for a billionaire. In New York, Jay-Z's roots run deep, and so do his investments. He and Beyoncé own a $26 million penthouse in Tribeca, located in a building known for housing some of the most powerful figures in entertainment and business. The penthouse features expansive city views, top-tier security, and an interior designed for both comfort and power meetings. The Hamptons, long known as the playground of the wealthy, is another place where Jay-Z has planted his financial footprint. The couple owns a $26 million estate in East Hampton, a secluded property designed for privacy, relaxation, and high-profile summer gatherings. But Jay-Z's real estate game isn't just about homes, it's about investments that appreciate in value. Every property in his portfolio isn't just a place to live, it's a financial move that cements his status as a power player in high-end real estate. Jay-Z's garage is a reflection of his status, taste, and ability to secure some of the rarest cars in the world. Unlike some celebrities who flaunt their vehicles for attention, Jay-Z collects them like fine art, each one representing a statement of exclusivity and power. One of the most prized pieces in his collection is the Rolls-Royce Boat Tail, a custom-built luxury vehicle that reportedly cost $28 million, making it one of the most expensive cars ever produced. The handcrafted design, personalized details, and bespoke finish make it a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that few will ever even see, let alone own. His collection also includes a Pagani Zonda F, valued at around $2 million, and a Maybach Excelero, a hyper-luxury vehicle worth nearly $8 million. Each of these cars is rare, limited in production, and built for individuals who operate at the highest levels of wealth. But Jay-Z isn't just about hypercars. He also has a deep appreciation for classic luxury, including a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud, vintage Bentleys, and high-end Mercedes models. For Jay-Z, cars aren't just transportation, they're power moves that reflect his billionaire mindset. While many rappers invest in jewelry and watches, Jay-Z has taken his investments to another level: fine art. His private collection includes pieces from Jean-Michel Basquiat, Andy Warhol, and Pablo Picasso, with some of his Basquiat pieces alone worth tens of millions of dollars. In his song Picasso Baby, Jay-Z raps about his love for collecting art, dropping lines like, "It ain't hard to tell, I'm the new Jean-Michel." This isn't just a flex, it's an insight into how he views wealth. While others invest in temporary luxuries, Jay-Z is putting his money into timeless assets that appreciate in value. One of his most famous purchases was a Basquiat painting titled Mecca, which he reportedly acquired for over $4 million. That same piece has since skyrocketed in value, making it yet another strategic investment. For Jay-Z, fine art isn't just about aesthetics. It's about legacy, cultural influence, and securing generational wealth. Jay-Z's wealth is not only built on music royalties and record sales, it's backed by ownership, investments, and high-stakes deals. He doesn't just endorse products, he owns them. One of his biggest moves was his stake in Armand de Brignac Champagne, commonly known as Ace of Spades. Jay-Z bought the brand outright and turned it into one of the most exclusive champagnes in the world. In 2021, he sold a 50% stake to Louis VMH, the luxury powerhouse behind brands like Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy, in a deal rumored to be worth hundreds of millions. His other liquor investment, Ducy Cognac, followed a similar path. He co-founded the brand, built its reputation, and later sold a major stake in a deal valued at around $750 million. Jay-Z also holds a significant stake in Tidal, the music streaming service he purchased in 2015, with the goal of giving artists more control and higher royalty payouts. While the platform faced early challenges, he later sold a majority stake to Square, the financial technology company founded by Jack Dorsey, in a deal worth $300 million. From real estate and fine art to liquor brands and streaming services, Jay-Z has turned every opportunity into a billion-dollar business play. Unlike some celebrities who constantly flaunt their wealth, Jay-Z operates differently. His approach to luxury is about strategy, exclusivity, and maintaining power without overexposure. Every move he makes, from the homes he buys to the businesses he invests in, is about legacy and wealth building. He isn't just spending money, he's ensuring that his fortune lasts for generations. Jay-Z has built one of the most decorated and financially successful careers in music history. From his early days battling for recognition to becoming hip-hop's first billionaire, his journey is filled with record-breaking moments, industry-shaping decisions, and a level of success that very few artists have ever reached. He isn't just an artist who made it big. He redefined what was possible for musicians. His career spans dozens of hit albums, 24 Grammy Awards, billion-dollar business deals, and a level of influence that extends far beyond music. But while many celebrate his achievements, the story of how he got there is what makes him one of the most important figures in modern entertainment. Jay-Z's ability to evolve with the industry has made him one of the most consistent and successful artists of all time. He has released 13 solo studio albums, each of them charting in the top 10, with several reaching number 1. His debut album, Reasonable Doubt, was the foundation of his empire. Though it didn't receive immediate mainstream success, it later became one of the most critically acclaimed hip-hop albums of all time. It introduced Jay-Z as a master lyricist, a storyteller, and a businessman who understood the value of independence. From there, his career accelerated. Albums like The Blueprint, The Black Album, and American Gangster cemented his place in hip-hop history. His music didn't just sell records, it influenced an entire generation of artists. His sound, business approach, and songwriting techniques became a template for success. By the time he released 444 in 2017, he had already proven his longevity. The album provided a deeply personal look into his life, relationships, and views on wealth building, reinforcing why he remained one of the most respected artists in the industry. Even as younger artists began dominating the charts, Jay-Z's influence never faded. With 24 Grammy Awards, Jay-Z holds the record for the most Grammy wins of any rapper in history. He has been nominated 88 times, tying Beyoncé for the most nominations of all time. His wins span multiple categories, from Best Rap Album and Best Rap Song to Album of the Year for his work on projects like Watch the Throne and Everything Is Love. While awards are a significant achievement, Jay-Z's impact extends beyond trophies. He has been inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, a rare honor for a hip-hop artist, recognizing his contributions to music and culture. His ability to remain at the top of the industry, decades after his debut, is a testament to his skill, adaptability, and deep understanding of the music business. Beyond album sales, Jay-Z has dominated the live performance industry, headlining some of the highest-grossing tours in hip-hop history. His solo tours, along with collaborations with artists like Beyoncé and Kanye West, have generated hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. The On the Run tours with Beyoncé were massive global successes, with the second installment grossing over $253 million worldwide. This made it one of the highest-grossing tours ever by a Black artist. Jay-Z's Watch the Throne tour with Kanye West also broke records, bringing in $75 million and setting the standard for collaborative tours in hip-hop. Even without a new album, Jay-Z continues to sell out stadiums, proving that his influence remains strong across multiple generations of fans. Jay-Z's success is not just about personal wins, it's about changing the way artists approach business. When he co-founded Rockefeller Records, he built one of the most influential independent hip-hop labels ever. The label introduced artists like Kanye West, Cam'ron, and Beanie Sigel, shaping the sound of early 2000s rap. But Jay-Z's biggest move came when he launched Roc Nation in 2008, a full-service entertainment company that represents musicians, athletes, and executives. Roc Nation's artist roster includes Rihanna, J. Cole, and Alicia Keys, making it one of the most powerful entities in music. Beyond that, Roc Nation Sports manages some of the biggest names in professional athletics, including NFL and NBA superstars. Jay-Z didn't just build a company, he built an empire that extended his reach into multiple industries. One of Jay-Z's most ambitious projects was his acquisition of Tidal, a high-fidelity music streaming service. In 2015, he bought the platform for $56 million, with the goal of creating a streaming service that gave artists more control over their royalties. Although Tidal faced challenges, it became a major player in the music industry, securing exclusive releases from artists like Beyoncé, Kanye West, and Rihanna. In 2021, Jay-Z sold a majority stake to Square, the financial technology company owned by Jack Dorsey, in a deal worth $300 million. It wasn't only about streaming, but also about ownership, influence, and ensuring that artists had more power over their work. Beyond Tidal, Jay-Z has expanded his business empire with a series of high-stakes investments and strategic partnerships. One of his most notable deals was selling half of his Armand de Brignac champagne brand to LVMH in a transaction valued at over $300 million. Solidifying his presence in the luxury market, he has also secured multi-million-dollar partnerships with major corporations like Puma and Live Nation, leveraging his influence to create long-term business opportunities. Additionally, Jay-Z has invested in companies such as Uber, blockchain technology firms, and various startups that align with emerging industry trends, ensuring that his financial empire continues to grow in the ever-evolving business landscape. His ability to recognize opportunities, invest strategically, and flip assets for profit has turned him into a financial powerhouse beyond music. Jay-Z's impact on hip-hop and business is undeniable, but his influence extends into culture, politics, and social justice. He has been involved in major initiatives supporting criminal justice reform, financial literacy, and Black entrepreneurship. Through the Sean Carter Foundation, he has funded scholarships for students in underserved communities, proving that his success is about more than just personal wealth. As an executive producer and creative force, he has played a role in films, documentaries, and music projects that tell important stories. From his involvement in the Trayvon Martin documentary Rest in Power to the Free Meek series, Jay-Z has used his platform to elevate voices and bring attention to critical issues. Jay-Z's career is defined by vision, strategy, and an ability to navigate power in ways few artists ever have. He didn't just succeed, he built structures that allowed others to follow in his footsteps. His record-breaking albums, business empire, and cultural influence place him in a category that few entertainers will ever reach. Jay-Z has built a career based on strategy, discipline, and calculated business moves. He rarely makes decisions without thinking 5 steps ahead, whether it's in music, business, or personal relationships. But with power comes conflict, backlash, and industry battles that have followed him for years. His rise to billionaire status hasn't been without public disputes, business betrayals, and personal scandals that made headlines. From legendary rap feuds to his highly scrutinized NFL deal, lawsuits, and long-standing business fallouts, Jay-Z has spent decades navigating controversy while staying at the top. Some see him as a visionary businessman, while others have questioned whether his biggest moves come at the cost of loyalty. But no matter where opinions fall, one thing is clear: controversy has never slowed him down. One of the most famous rap feuds in history started with two of New York's greatest lyricists, Jay-Z and Nas. Their rivalry wasn't just about music, it was about respect, dominance, and lyrical supremacy. Tension between them started in the late 1990s, with subliminal shots appearing in their music, but things escalated in 2001 when Jay-Z released Takeover, a direct diss track aimed at Nas. The song claimed that Nas had fallen off musically, and that his career was no longer relevant. Nas responded with Ether, a track that became one of the most scathing diss records ever released. Fans immediately took sides, debating who had won the battle. The feud lasted for years, with both artists continuing to send shots at each other in interviews and songs. But in 2005, they surprised the world by publicly squashing their beef, appearing on stage together and later collaborating on music. Though the rivalry is over, it remains one of the most important moments in hip-hop history, proving that even the biggest conflicts can eventually be resolved. In 2014, security footage leaked from an elevator inside the Standard Hotel in New York. The video showed Solange Knowles, Beyoncé's sister, physically attacking Jay-Z while Beyoncé stood by watching. The footage had no audio, leaving the public to speculate about what caused the altercation. Social media exploded with theories. Was it about Jay-Z's alleged infidelity, a business dispute, a private family issue? Days later, the three of them released a statement saying they had worked through their issues, but the incident remained a mystery. The event fueled rumors about trouble in Jay-Z and Beyoncé's marriage, leading to intense media scrutiny. 2 years later, Beyoncé's album Lemonade added even more speculation. Many of the lyrics hinted at betrayal, dishonesty, and personal struggles within their relationship. Jay-Z later admitted that he had been unfaithful, confirming what many had suspected. Instead of breaking their empire apart, the couple publicly addressed their struggles through music, business ventures, and joint projects, showing that their brand was bigger than any scandal. In 2019, Jay-Z made headlines for partnering with the NFL, a move that left many questioning his true intentions. Just 2 years earlier, Jay-Z had been one of Colin Kaepernick's biggest supporters, standing against the NFL's treatment of players who protested during the national anthem. He even turned down a Super Bowl halftime show offer, criticizing the league's stance on activism. So when he signed a deal to become the NFL's entertainment strategist, some saw it as a contradiction. Critics accused him of turning his back on the movement for financial gain. Others believed it was a strategic move to create real change from within. Jay-Z defended his decision, stating that the partnership allowed him to directly influence the league's social justice efforts and entertainment programming. While opinions remained divided, the deal proved his ability to make high-stakes decisions, even in the face of backlash. Jay-Z's success has involved severing business ties with former partners, often leading to high-profile disputes and lawsuits. One of the biggest breakups came when he parted ways with Damon Dash, his Rockefeller co-founder. The two built the label together, but over time their visions for the company began to clash. Jay-Z wanted to expand beyond music into corporate business deals, while Dash preferred the traditional hip-hop model of artist independence. In 2004, Jay-Z took over as president of Def Jam, effectively pushing Dash out of Rockefeller. The fallout led to years of tension, with Dash publicly criticizing Jay-Z in interviews. Legal battles have also followed Jay-Z throughout his career. In 2022, he won a lawsuit against Bacardi over the valuation of D'ussé Cognac. The case revealed the complex nature of his business negotiations, proving that even at the highest levels of success, financial disputes are unavoidable. Jay-Z has been involved in numerous social justice initiatives, using his platform to support causes like criminal justice reform and economic empowerment. His Roc Nation division, Team Roc, has fought for wrongfully incarcerated individuals and provided legal aid for underserved communities. But his activism hasn't been free from criticism. Some believe his influence in political spaces is performative, arguing that his business ventures often take priority over his social efforts. For example, his involvement in Brooklyn's Barclays Center deal was praised for bringing jobs and economic growth, but criticized for its negative impact on local communities. Many argued that the project led to gentrification and displacement, benefiting large corporations rather than the residents who had lived there for decades. Despite the criticism, Jay-Z continues to be one of the most politically engaged figures in hip-hop, balancing business with advocacy. Jay-Z's image has been built on calculated moves, exclusivity, and selective transparency. Unlike some public figures, he rarely gives interviews, allowing his music and business deals to speak for themselves. While he's often portrayed as calm, composed, and business-minded, those who have worked closely with him describe a ruthless competitor who operates with precision. His ability to navigate power, outmaneuver rivals, and structure deals that benefit him in the long run has made him one of the most respected yet hardest-to-read figures in entertainment. For years, he has carefully controlled his public narrative, never letting controversy dictate his next move. Even in moments of backlash, he remains unshaken, allowing time and strategy to work in his favor. Jay-Z's ability to handle scandals, feuds, and business disputes without losing influence is one of the most impressive aspects of his career. While some artists crumble under pressure, he has used every controversy to refine his approach, strengthen his empire, and emerge even more powerful. From rap battles to billion-dollar negotiations, Jay-Z has shown that controversy isn't a setback, it's just another challenge to overcome. But as he continues to expand his empire, the question remains, what does the future hold? Will he continue to dominate music and business, or will he step back from the public eye? Although he hasn't released a solo album since 444, Jay-Z remains one of the most influential voices in music. His legacy is cemented, but fans still wonder if he will return to the studio for another classic project or continue focusing on business. With his ability to evolve, a surprise album or major collaboration isn't out of the question. Beyond music, his business empire continues to expand. With investments in tech, fine art, luxury liquor, and sports management, Jay-Z is more focused on wealth building than ever before. Roc Nation is still signing artists and athletes, and his influence in corporate spaces, from venture capital to exclusive partnerships, keeps growing. Did you know that while Jay-Z rose from Brooklyn's housing projects to build a billion-dollar empire through music, there's a figure who took a completely opposite path to power? Well, that's Donald Trump, who transformed his father's real estate business into a global brand before achieving something even his fiercest critics thought impossible. And you can discover how he rewrote the rules of political influence by clicking on your screen now.